Are you working? What kind of work do you do? Boy, what is it you want to do when you grow up?
Good evening, everyone. I am Eric Castano, along with Christine Ross.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
This
Thanks
is
for having
Tailormade
me.
Sports Radio. We are back, and you can see I have this lovely hat that I have on is representing the league that you are the director, aka I like to call her the commish of
Yes,
this new
yes.
league that you're representing right now. First of all, let me just say what you're doing is a fantastic thing that you're doing as far as doing what you're doing for
Thank you,
for
I
the area
appreciate that.
for what it is for the special needs. And I'm really honored that you are here. I saw you recently on TV. You were doing a huge interview in regards to this. So
Yes.
I am representing the Great Neck Little League baseball team for autism children and special needs children. Is that correct?
That's right. All
Okay.
special needs.
So tell us exactly where this came from and what brought you to do this.
Sure. Well, what's kind of brought me to do this was my son Ethan's 5 years old,
Mhm.
and he's nonverbal autistic.
Okay.
So he has a little bit of motor skill problems where it's hard for him to just do like basic things. He has, he's not very social, until he gets like familiar with you. So I realized sports were going to be a challenge for us, and we're huge. Like my 9-year-old, he plays baseball and football and basketball. So, obviously when I was pregnant with Ethan, I just assumed I'd have another athlete,
Right.
and it wasn't until he was about 3 that I realized he was just different than Aiden, which is fine, but it was, I knew he still had it in him, so it was just getting it out of him and how we were going to do this. So the first thing we tried was karate. That was the first thing we tried, only because Ethan really likes the Ninja Turtle. So I thought, he thinks he's a Ninja Turtle, like he
What's
got
his favorite
this, we
character?
can do this.
Does he have a favorite one?
No, but it's funny, he calls them all by their nicknames, like Mickey, or you know what I mean?
Right,
Like he
right.
doesn't say Michelangelo, like they're like his boys, like
Okay.
you know what I
Like
mean?
they
So
get down with the crew.
yeah. So he has like
Okay.
nicknames for them and stuff. So we tried karate. I called the dojo,
Okay.
and I asked them if they dealt with special needs children,
Right.
and they said yes to bring them in. So the first time we brought him in, it was with the whole class, which
Right.
probably wasn't the greatest idea, but because it was his first time, so we put him in there. He just he didn't really get it. Just even things like doing a what's it called? What's that thing? 1, 2.
Jumping jack.
Jumping jacks. There we go. And I didn't know I had to teach him to do a jumping jack. Like it didn't even cross my mind. Like this is my first special needs child too. I've actually never even met another special needs child in just in my life like that. You know what I mean? So I didn't know simple things like jumping jacks and rolling over. I was really gonna have to train him or teach him how to do. Long story short, it didn't go well. We even tried private lessons, and then the instructor just wasn't. You could tell he didn't really deal with special needs children, So that was kind of like a traumatic experience with for us as a family, because we had to tell Ethan no, you can't do this anymore.
Right.
And I just figured all right, karate just isn't gonna happen.
Okay.
So we have all kinds of baseball stuff in our backyard. So we have the tee, and we have a bat, we have a ball, and then one day I just saw him pick up a ball, put it on the tee, and swing. And he was amazing. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. He's gonna play
The bright
baseball.
lights came
Yeah.
on, right.
And it's from him watching his older brother play.
Right.
So I was like, oh God, that whole karate thing got in my head again. I was like, oh, I can't go through this again, And I just figured, if I can't go through this and I feel like I'm super strong, what about the other moms? Or just other parents, not even just moms, parents in general, families, how do they deal with this?
Right.
And I thought, you know what, I'm going to put Ethan in baseball, but I'm going to have my own special needs t-ball team. I'm just going to take out that whole, trying to put him in a regular one and just start my own league with all special needs kids where, they can play judgment free and they can play among their peers. And the parents have, other parents that they can talk to and they can relate to, and they don't feel awkward rolling up somewhere when your son wants to wear, a Ninja Turtle shirt, or if they want to wear just random stuff that these kids wear, which, it's funny, but it's so great because they're just showing their own unique style, which I think is amazing too. So I emailed Craig, who was the director of Great Neck,
Right.
and it took him about a week to email me back. He thought it was a great idea. And he asked me if I actually wanted to coach the team, and I said, obviously, So it took about a month to get everything, the registration, the flyers. I had to reach out to the Downs community, I had to reach out to the autism community, I had to reach out to a bunch of different communities because it's special needs for everyone, all disabilities, ages 4 to 23. So it was super important to us that we didn't discriminate on anyone on this team. So that was kind of the back history of it. And then just getting it started was just calling Craig and just, really getting the flyer and the promotions and the marketing and really just doing a little bit of, research on our own to make sure it was safe.
So basically, in the little bit shorter version of this, you basically just like, I'm going to grind this out and work my way to get into what I want to get. So basically, show everybody your shirt. What's it say?
Oh, yeah,
it says Mother Hustler.
Yes.
Which basically means she hustled her butt off
totally.
to get exactly what
I think
you
any
wanted.
parent would do that. I think sometimes parents don't know how to do it. And to be honest with you, I didn't know how to do it either. I just knew that I wanted to do it. And I went on the website, saw Great Neck, I saw the director, and I just figured, what could hurt from me just emailing him, and it didn't hurt. It was fantastic. Now I have a team, and at first it was only a team of 12. No, a team of 10. And then after the news article came out, then I got 4 more kids that came on the team. So, and it's just been a blessing. My new kid that I got, his name is William, and he's in a wheelchair. So he is our first actual physical disability child on the team. And it didn't hit me until he went up to bat, and we had to take him out of the wheelchair, and we held him, and he hit the ball, and then we had to guide him to first, and then he sat back in his wheelchair. And to see that, for some reason, we had 4 games, but that particular game, I was like, oh.
Right, tearjerker.
Oh, yeah, and then you just look back and you see the parents and the grandparents, and they're just so excited. And I'm just like, wow, this is legit. This is my legacy. If I do nothing else with my life, besides have my kids get married and start this league, then I am super blessed, I'm super happy, and I'm glad.
I mean, that is a testament to what you are doing right now, and basically the upbringing that you come from, because I know your mom and your dad, they're really, really hardworking individuals, and they've never showed any sign of weakness as far as not getting to what they want. Where do you expect this to go beyond this area? I mean, do you see this actually going even further than Hampton Roads? Do you see this going nationwide, possible worldwide?
It's crazy that you say that, because when I first started it, I just wanted them to continue it. So meaning in the spring and fall, we would have, baseball just like the other kids would for Great Neck, because I think Green Run has one, and I think another team has one, but just for the Great Neck, league itself. But then after I did, the report and stuff on the news, people started texting me and emailing me and Facebooking me, and just, I don't know how they would find me, but they found me, and they were just like, can you help me set up a team here? Can you help me set up a team here? And of course, the first thing I do is I tell my husband, I'm like, Ryan, this is it. This is the next thing we need to do. I have all the paperwork from Craig and myself, and we have ABA therapists to make sure that it's safe, and I have a volunteer coordinator that helps with the buddies and the parents and checking in and all that good stuff. So I have all the paperwork, and I was like, I can go to different cities. There's no reason why there's not a special needs team in every single city, at least in every single state at least, but I mean definitely every city. And I was like, I think I could really help other cities and other leagues really do this and do it well and do it safe, just from what we've learned. So I mean, it is our pilot season, and we're only on game 5. This will be game 6 this week, but I feel like I have enough to give to other people, so that way they can do it, so they can start their own leagues. So besides that baseball thing, I've also started a nonprofit, which is called Aid Another. After my oldest son, Aiden. And Aid Another, basically our mission with Aid Another is just helping special needs families and children feel empowered in the community. So, basically my philosophy is if you can do it, we can do it. If your child can do it, my child can do it. We just got to figure out how. And that's where I see all this going. I see us starting other leagues, different states, and I see this nonprofit doing really well in the 757, and just really just helping other families.
And that beyond the fact that this is that we're with the expectation level of this probably now has risen ever since the news report came out of it.
Yeah.
Now. So how are you dealing with that pressure as well? I mean, it's got to be a little bit of pressure right now going forward.
Yeah, well, it got shared 70,000 times. And
70,000
yeah,
times.
70,000 times. And my girlfriend works for the news channel, and she told me that it was the most shared local article. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. In a really long time. Yeah, so I mean, it's exciting because it's children and special needs and it's family. So I mean, it's pulling on heartstrings. So of course people want to share it and things like that. And plus I'm local, so people are also just, they're proud, and I didn't get all of this at first. I just wanted Ethan to play baseball, So it's crazy that all this is happening, but I have a bunch of people emailing me, and just like I have a meeting tomorrow with the foster care system, and she does foster care, but for special needs kids. And she wants to partner up with Another so we could try to find parents for these children, and I never thought in a million years that trying to, have Ethan playing I could help children find homes. To me, it's crazy, where I'm even like, man, maybe I want to foster a child, or maybe I like to foster some siblings that are going to get split up, because they're special needs, and, a lot of parents don't know what to do with them. So there's so much that I want to do. And it's just nice because I feel like it was the push that I needed. And I'm just ready to take this on.
I mean that I can't even express to you how proud first
of
all of you of what you're doing. I'm sure your mom, your dad, your husband Ryan, you're doing an extraordinary thing here. I mean, and for what the community is seeing. How much involvement have you seen from the community so far since then? I mean, I'm sure you've been telling me, you were saying that there was moms and all of that, but I mean, have there been local sponsors that wanted to catch on board? I mean, the reality is this is going to take off, and it's already taken off. So there's going to be a whole other whirlwind of other things that are going to come with that. So obviously we want to know from our perspective, and I'm sure everybody else wants to know, is like, beyond the fact of the pressure, we want to know how can we help you as far as with the sponsorships, and where can everybody get information to get that, to be able to sponsor this program? Because I think this is great. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it, except that I'm just speechless, because it tugs on your on your heart, because I know your son Ethan, and I know Aiden, and I see both of them interacting with one another, and I see Ethan all the time, and I wonder at how he was going to be able, when you told me that, I was like, how is he going to be able to do it? But now I saw the footage, I've seen him play, I've seen you show the videos, and it's really, really a huge thing that you're doing. So I'm very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
My next question now is going to, how does Aiden react to all of this right now?
Sure. Well, Aiden still has his baseball, and he plays for a travel team. He plays for an elite travel team called TAILOR Horns.
Right.
So when he's not playing, he volunteers, and he helps out with Ethan, and some of actually the other players for the team come out and they help as well, which is really nice. So Aiden loves it. These are actually Aiden's old cleats, and I kept all of Aiden's old cleats, and I actually have a smaller pair because Aiden's been playing since he was 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a smaller pair.
I'm wearing this hat, by the way.
That's Ethan's hat too. This is Ethan's glove. But so I kept all his cleats, just hoping that Ethan would play. And every year that he wouldn't fit into a cleat, of course I was like, oh, another year, And I hate to say that as a parent that you compare your kid, but I kind of did. Like at 3, I was like, we're gonna play sports, and he just wasn't ready. So I was like, all right, those cleats don't work. At 4, I was like, we're going to play sports. And then by the time he was 5, I took up these cleats and I was like, oh my God, they fit, yes. And so it's just special to see Ethan wear his brother's cleats. But his brother is so excited. He puts on his uniform when Ethan has to put on his uniform so Ethan can see him and he can be excited. And he knows that he can only drink Gatorade on game days. Because he sees Aiden, because Aiden drinks Gatorade on game days. So, he's excited for little things like that are just kind of weird, but it's like, he knows Gatorade Saturday's game day. Especially when you're autistic, you have to have a routine with them.
Right.
So that routine works for us and our family, to know that only certain things he can have for game day, to kind of get him excited. But, to be honest with you, Ethan is the only one on the team that hasn't hit by himself. but he's an amazing hitter. I think it's because I'm there and his dad's there.
Everybody's
so,
watching the
yeah,
highlights
so
are on him.
he's kind of like our mascot.
The pressure.
Yeah, he's kind of our mascot, but thank God he's so cute, so we just kind of let him go. But with me, I'm the mom and I'm the coach. So if my son's not doing well, I just have to go, you know what, you're in a uniform, I'll take it. You're not in a Ninja Turtle shirt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'll take it, fine, like, just stay out there, you know? But I have to concentrate on the other kids, too. You know, these parents paid $30, you know, for a hat, a t-shirt, and for their kids to come out and to play. And that's my job now. My job is sometimes to take off mommy hat, put on coach hat, and make sure that I don't only focus on my son. But thank God I have Aiden there to help me. I have my husband there to help me, and I have volunteers. Each child has 2 volunteers.
That was my next
Yeah,
question.
they have.
Where do you get the outside support?
Exactly.
from?
Well, we have 1 youth buddy and 1 adult buddy. And as we've been realizing going into game, you know, after 5, 6, is that the kids are doing better with the youth buddies, not so much with the adults.
Okay.
So they actually are loving the fact that each of them are with the kid anywhere from 9 to 13.
Okay.
So they feel like they're you know, they're getting social, which is amazing because a lot of the special needs kids, that's what they have problems with. But they have a friend, you know. And then even with the buddies, you know, I had one buddy's mother come up to me and she said that in school, her son witnessed the kid getting bullied, a special needs kid. So he went in and basically told the bully, back up, you know, they have feelings too, how dare you. And so then the principal came, gave him an award, you know, and the mom came to me and she said it's because he's been volunteering, you know, and he's realized that they don't have problems. There's nothing wrong with them. You know, they just think different. They just, you know, they're just a little different in the way they do things. But that was amazing just to know that these kids now, like, you know, these buddy volunteers, these youth volunteers, like they're going home with something too. You know, so all of us, it's crazy, just the impact from like all of our lives. But I did want to say, when you asked me the pressure, I think it's making sure that I act right, because now there's so much more eyes on me, you know what I mean? But I'm just a regular mom. I like to go out. I like to have a drink. I like to go out with my husband. I'm a bartender, you know, so it's very awkward, I think, when people see me roll up because I'm a woman. I'm the only woman coach on the league. You know,
how does that work?
Yeah.
How do you? I was gonna say, you fit all this stuff into your schedule. You bartend, you have the wife, and now you have this, and now you're female and Latina, of course.
Exactly. So it's a lot of
this is like blown away.
I'm not
stuff.
a typical coach.
No, by no.
by any means. You know what I mean? And I think that the kids love it.
Right.
You know, because it's like, I know from having my own special needs child how to interact with special needs children. You know, so I'm out there just having a good time, and I let the parents know. Sometimes, you know, if the kid is not doing well, the parent will try to come in the field, and I just turn them around. We got this. We got this. You know, you have to learn as a special needs parent, just a parent in general, like, don't baby your child. Sometimes you got to let them fail. And that's a problem with a lot of parents these days. They're so scared to let their kids fail. And I get it. You know, my son just started kindergarten, so he's in a regular kindergarten and he's integrated. And sometimes I get nervous, like, but you got to let them fail. You got to see what they can do and what they can't do. And all of these kids are doing amazing. Like, we're actually doing plays. They get the ball, they're throwing it at first, you know, and there's no outs, but I'm still teaching them fundamentals. You know, but I mean, they're getting it. Like, it's been amazing to watch.
How many people are in your staff that are doing this? In
Gotcha.
your coaching staff? Like,
Well, it's I have Craig, who's our director,
right,
and then I have myself, and then I have 2 assistant coaches, and then I have a buddy for each kid. I have 2 buddies for each kid, and then I have Kelly, who's my volunteer coordinator. So right when you walk in, you meet with her. And I made bios for each kid. So if you were a volunteer, I'd give you a bio and you would just read something about them, what they like, what they don't like, you know, so you know how to engage with them. So, I guess I would say about 30. You know, but there's 14 kids. So you gotta, maybe more than that, 45, I guess.
Wow.
And then it's great because when other games are done, they come to see our game. You know, where they'll ask, like, what's this league or what's going on? And You know, I've gotten so many compliments, but for me, it's like I'm so humbled, and I almost don't take the compliments very well because I'm like, I didn't really do anything. I'm just a mom who has a special needs child who just wants her son to play baseball. That's it. You know, I get it, but sometimes I still feel like, oh, thank you, but you know, you don't have to praise me. Like
but you need to be praised.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You need to be, well known for your accomplishments, because that's like I said, you're doing an amazing thing for the community, first of all, and as well as for special needs children. And I think it's wonderful. And I really have one more question to ask you. Like, let me see what I have here. Like I said, I told you before about being the Latina and being amongst all these guys. Does that affect you in any kind of way?
Yeah.
Like you're working in baseball, mind you, and I'm not gonna go there with the chauvinist stuff because it's not really what I'm trying to say. But my point is like you have you're around a lot of guys, and I wonder if they look at you a certain way because, well, what did she doesn't know what she's doing? Does she actually know what she's doing?
And I've gotten that question.
I think you pretty much might have answered that earlier because you do come from a baseball background.
I do come from a baseball background, and I have had coaches ask me, okay, well, do you know anything about baseball?
Right.
And I'm like, well, it's baseball 101. Yes, I know enough. You know what I mean? And if I didn't, I don't have that much pride where I wouldn't ask for help. At the end of the day, it's not about me, it's about these children.
Right.
You know, but, you know, I'm also a bartender where it's all men. So I've kind of been used to it, you know, but when I walk in, I'm sure they stare at me, and it doesn't help, you know, that I might tie my shirt, or, you know, I just try to put my own flair to what I'm wearing as well, the uniform, of course, you know, or just my own style itself. But they don't faze me.
Right.
They never have. At the end of the day, I'm here. You know what I mean? And I'm just not a coach. I'm a director. You know what I mean? I'm not I'm just not a director. Like I started it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like we're equals. Right. And if you don't find me an equal, get off my field. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how else to say it, but that's really it. That's how it works.
And that's the quote of the day: "Get off my field."
Yeah. Yes.
Get off my field.
Exactly.
All right. So real quick, before we go out, tell everyone where they can find you at.
Yeah, well, I'm on Facebook. I have my own Facebook, so it's Christine Ross. But Aid Another will have a Facebook soon, and everything will be Aid Another. So the website will be Aid Another, Instagram, Twitter, everything will be Aid Another right now. We're working on the logos, and I have my LLC. So it's a process to really make sure that this nonprofit is just legit because, you know, there's sponsors that come in and their money and their time. So I just want to make sure that it's done accurate. But as far as my email, if you want to email, you want to get a hold of me, if you're a special needs parent, if you're a sponsor, it's cmross2211, so like Christine Moyer Ross 2211 at gmail.com. And then my Instagram is Christine22VA, and like I said, my Facebook is Christine22, and I've had a lot of people message me, and I answer all my messages because I appreciate it so much that people are really supporting this.
I mean, once again, this is an amazing mountain to climb. I've seen you do everything from working the bars to now being the commissioner on the field, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very humbled to have you on my show, and I'd like to thank everybody out here that's watching. Once again, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram at TailormadeSportsRadio.com. I'd like to thank my guest, Christine Ross.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming to the show.
Yes.
And like we always say here at TailorMade Sports Radio, when you look good, you play good.